I hate doing voiceovers, so this will be awkward, but I feel the need to do it. So this is the last day at my childhood house. And that's one. I just wanted to capture my memories before I forget them. So this house was bought in probably 1948 by Seal, Mount, Arnie, and Rose. Maybe John and his wife Forrest, I'm not really sure. But here we go. So these are the steps that Jeff Townsend was very proud of that he jumped down. Here's the big hillway that was always hard to cut with the grass. Down in here there's a cement block that used to hold the mailbox, which you might see in old pictures. This is the original railing since I've been a kid. It was probably silver or gray when I was growing up. I guess someone painted the black. A nice feature that I've just learned as I got older was how cool it is to have concrete wrapped all the way around the house, so you don't have to trim against the foundation of the house. So that's pretty neat. Our old mulberry bush, which was probably here when my grandma moved in, is probably 80 years old before it got cut down. The fun brickwork in the porch. There's fossils actually in these stones. You can see a lot of them here. I thought that was really cool. I think that it might be from the Licking River quarry. Don't know. As you can see, my dad pulled extension cords through the windows to power his Christmas lights outside. One of the windows that we had air conditioners out of. Oh, we have deers. That's cool. Those are big deers too on a really busy street. Hooks in the porch that we put up Christmas lights on. The gutter has since been wrapped. It used to just be wood. The flagpole. This is the HVAC unit that they just put in probably about 15 years ago. These pipes were never here. That pipe there was added for electricity for my air conditioning. This is the window that the coal chute used to drop coal down into. This was all part of the original house. This is the fence that my dad and I believe my Uncle Norman put in. The concrete was put down with their dog Petey. This was considered the dog yard. The entrance to the basement had a very small door when I was young. I guess it leaked, and they replaced it with a larger one. This was the main entrance to the house, since this was the driveway that extended way past where that house was, because that house wasn't there when my grandma bought it. The brick on there was placed because we found a raccoon that popped out of the basement when my mom was in the nursing home. So we didn't know how it got out or how it got in, so we put that on there to make sure that didn't happen again. A little pipe here was for Arnie and his beans, his green beans or peas that he grew. And I found the rest of the poles in the garage when I cleaned that out. The black fence was added about 3 years ago. There used to be a hedge there. Used to be a really nasty hedge to keep clean and stuff. One tree stump, 2 tree stumps my mom and I planted from those helicopter seeds that you see flying down from the sky. And of course, there's out there you can probably see remnants of a cable that went around the tree that we hooked up to the garage to let our dog Poochie run back and forth on the cable to have the whole backyard to himself before the fence was there. Arnie put in the retaining wall in the very back, which you'll see in a minute. This all used to be a strawberry patch back when I was a kid. My mom used to grow strawberries back here, and I used to help her pick them. Along this wall was where my grandma Seal used to grow tomatoes, and she used to come out here every day and hand weed all the stuff around the stalks. This wall has obviously been repaired many times, although I don't remember it being repaired in my childhood. My dad could have possibly done that. I don't know. It's interesting that there's weep holes in the wall. I guess this was just a way to get out of the dog's yard. There used to be a wooden gate here, hooked up to the side, that you could lock and open and step up the steps. Don't know too much of history behind this. There's a big metal plate in the backyard that my dad got from work one day. It's really heavy, and it's rust proof. It's probably been in this house maybe 30 years, 35 years even, and it still looks like it did when it was brand new. It's really cool. You can see the line in the house that separated the old house from the addition of the kitchen and the bathroom and little room. We're not really sure too much beyond that. I think it did a good job matching the brick and the slate around the windows. Arches in the brick, never understood that. That's where the new vent came out. My mom and dad moved the washer and dryer up to the little room after I moved out to make it easier for them, so they didn't have to get upstairs. This was a little bit, I guess this used to be, it's a cistern, and it used to be ground level, and I guess when I was a kid it used to sink down, and it used to be a tripping hazard. So it was, I guess, back in the mid 1970s, maybe even late 1970s, I'd say mid though, they built this up higher, and I guess it worked because it never sank back again. I want to say my dad probably put that faucet in. Yeah, it could have been his. I don't really know. Some patchwork, little window on there. No clue why that would have been put there. I think that awning's been there since Arnie and Rose. Crazy. This fence was never here when I was a kid. It was added, I don't know, 20 years ago. Here's that cable that's right through the tree that Ipuchi used to glide on, that used to hook up to the hook on the edge of the garage there. Used to provide a lot of shade. Here's the remnant stones of a chicken coop that Arnie used to have. Arnie stuck in all the steps. Down there, Arnie built a garage, and the pathway leading to the door, and also the pathway leading to the back door. He put in a retaining wall, which you really can't see too much anymore of, unfortunately. And then it curves around here. This could actually be the end of the property line, so the fence might actually make sense. Why that curve didn't match up with the curve in the wall down there, I really don't know. You can see the 4 holes in the wall above the heat pump. That's where my dad installed a basketball hoop for me. All the red poles are clotheslines. We used to actually have clotheslines, and there's still rope attached to that one. We used to stretch them across and hang up our sheets and towels. I'm gonna try to actually zoom out a little bit further, see if I can get more in here. Nope, stuck at one. Okay. New roof. It's missing the downspout there. The red pipe on the roof was for the. Actually, I don't know what that red vent is. I thought it was. Oh, I guess it's for the piping for the toilet. I never really thought about that. I thought it might just be an air vent, but there's no fan in the bathroom, so that must be where all the plumbing exits the house. There used to be a chimney over here, but that was really bad and cost too much to maintain, so we had it torn down. My dad's bedroom window, where I had the security camera face out of, you can see the wipe marks that I put in the glass to make it clear so I could see out. The new roof, since my dad died in 18, because there was a big hole in the front that a drone caught, so we had to replace the roof. The chimney on the workshop was to vent the stove in the kitchen, which I guess that's back when they had a wood burning stove to vent there, because our gas stove never really vented there. I'm not sure why it didn't vent there, but that's weird too. Here's that piece of metal I was talking about. There used to be slats along the bottom here with hooks on the edges there that used to hold long poles that we used to put up between the clothesline to make it higher and keep the weight of the towels from pulling it down. This all looks obviously like shit now. Since you know there's a little post there in the ground, I guess that's kind of a architecture thing to figure out where the end of the wall was. I'm not sure how they came up with the design of this wall. I always thought it was cool that there was bricks in here with different etchings and stuff in there. I don't really want to go in the garage too much because I just closed the door. This was a wash basin, I guess, from the 30s, and they put it up here, and we used to have fires in here, and we used to just burn stuff. And as you can hear the expressway up above. It wasn't here when my parent or my grandma was here. They put the expressway in, took some houses from down there, and almost took my parents, but they didn't. This used to be an alleyway. That's why it's a little bit flatter here than on the hill up there. This is new doors because the old doors came apart. The old door actually had windows in it. This is really cool. We used to throw all of our grass up here after we used to cut the grass, and the wall that Arnie built went all the way down there and stopped there. There's a square cement block in that area someplace back there that denotes the property balance between these two houses. My sister. Why they extended the wall past the workshop, I have no idea. The infamous gutter that they should have cleaned out every year, but they didn't. And you can see the result of the water damage from that. Why they didn't figure that out, no clue. It's really bad. Hoping that the new buyers who get possession of this house today will make it look a lot better. There used to be an awning over that door. My friend and I used to use this garage as a clubhouse, and at night it was really dark, so I asked my dad to install some lights, and he ran this wire into the workshop, which was controlled by the light switch in the kitchen. Huh?